Welcome to For $1 Billion More podcast. I'm Ram. I've invested in 25 odd startups, raised money for a few, and scaled a bunch of them. In season 1 of this podcast, I interviewed a bunch of founders and investors in the startup ecosystem. In season 2, I'm sharing my own perspectives. This episode is about how do you actually start a new business, a new venture, your own startup. I frequently meet people who have an idea in their mind. This is more common with student entrepreneurs. They want to build something is just in their heads. Maybe they've created a presentation, but that's about it. And they have this dream that an angel will literally fly in and give them a large pot of gold and say, Ja, ji le apni zindagi. I mean, come on, guys, give me a break. If you're listening to this podcast, I assume you're not Kunal Shah from Cred. You probably do not have significant credibility out in the market. You don't have a pull factor that, unknown investors will flock to you. They'll chase you and they'll give you a lot of money just based on your PPT. So what should you do? How do you really start? First of all, you need to sell your dream to people in your friend circle, in your colleagues' network, and find a co-founder or a bunch of partners who are willing to join your journey. Let me repeat that. Sell your dream. You need to have a convincing story. You need to be able to, first of all, get some people in your closed group, in your close network, friends, colleagues, whatever it is, to join you on this journey. They should be able to get you going, give you that support, and help you kind of, ride the long and arduous journey. Secondly, you need to talk to real people in the particular domain where you want to work on. Understand the ground realities, see where are the gaps, who has what pain points, before you go and say a blanket statement like, "Arey, this is an open space and nobody is working on this," or the competition is an idiot, for lack of a better word. Be really clear about what's happening on the ground. If someone is doing a good job, respect that. Find your own niche, but you need to have a ground reality or a strong understanding of what's really happening in that domain before you launch your own work. And the third part is to actually start doing something. What I mean by that is, first of all, quit your job. I mean, it's a big flag for investors if the founder himself or herself is not full-time on the startup. It's like, if you as a founder are not 100% convinced about your startup, how can you expect an external investor to bet on you? Anyways, so quit your job, register a company. It takes very least amount of money and effort to hire a CA and start a company. Put in some money from your savings, register an official business, a mail ID. By the way, I get quite a few pitch decks from Gmail IDs and I simply ignored it, so to say. Start executing. Whatever it is, whether it's a small demoable product or getting a few trades done, onboarding real customers or vendors, get that actual transactions going and get feedback from these people, how your product is, whether it is helpful, so on and so forth. It's up to you how you want to define the exact goalpost and the milestone at this stage, whether it is to get X customers or developing an MVP or whatever it is. But you need to cross a certain level of progress, traction, whatever you want to call it. And this initial work should basically drive conviction in yourself that you're working on the right problem and that, this can really become big. Quick summary of this episode. First of all, sell your dream and get a co founder or a core team together. Second, go to the ground, understand the realities. Third, launch something and get real feedback. In the next episode, we'll talk about the problem statement. Please share your questions so that I can address them in the upcoming episodes. And don't forget to follow me on this podcast or other social media mentioned in the comments.